And realized that many of the stories we could tell, we probably shouldn't tell. But I clearly remember that time when they were both recording at Sound 80. It was 1974, is that what you said? 74? I lose track of time.
Years I can figure.
And I was 19. And I'd met Lonnie when I was 17. And so we were saying how, you know, when you're 60 and 68, it doesn't matter the age difference, but when you're 19 and 20 something, these guys were like, these are men, very talented men, indeed. So I got my education too, because I was singing backup on both their albums, and just in awe, complete, what an honor for a 19-year-old to be hanging out with those guys. I don't though. See, that was good though. That was safe, right? I didn't say anything.
Hello.
I'll leave that to you.
Can't tell you how many times Lonnie told me about this place. He raved about it.
Yeah.
Sitting else?
Yeah, but let's talk just a bit more until my iPad comes up.
Okay, well, I censored all my stories for this morning, but for one thing, Lonnie and I never called each other Fred and Lonnie. We were never Fred and Lonnie. That was never the case. When we were doing rock and roll gigs when we were, in our 20s, we dressed up a lot. We put on makeup. I painted my eyes all the time. Lonnie would always wear these really high heel shoes. He had this wizard hat that would stick up a mile in the air. He was just, you were sure he was going to tip over. And so sometimes we just before the gig, somebody would start doing something. So one night I decided I was going to be a pirate. So I was going to be the old dad. I just had the old dad, seasoned from years on the waves. And so I looked at Lonnie, he had this blank expression. I said, so who are you going to be? And just in an instant, he jumped up on this chair, threw this glass he had up in the air, and yelled, I'm the kid. So for the rest of our lives, I'd pick up the phone and I'd hear, Dad. And I'd say, Kid. And we would go. We were dead. He was, I don't know how old he was, but he was kid the last time I spoke to him. He always was. Now, I'm sure y'all haven't read my novels very much, but I have one novel called Secret Lives of Musicians. It's a collection of stories, and there's one story. There's a collection of stories about when I played gigs around here. There's a story about Lonnie. And back up just a second. When I was driving up here on May 6th, I just jumped in my car and started driving to Minneapolis. And I got to Wichita. But all the time up here, all the time up from Austin to Wichita, I rehearsed what I was going to say to him. And I have a pad about 9 pages long. And everything I decide on, I think, no, he knows that. No, that's modeling. I only did, by the time I got to Wichita, 10 hours driving, I only was going to tell him one thing. I was going to tell him what happened to the aluminum. Now, fast forward. We're playing at Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania on a snowy night. And we're staying in the girls' dorm. We're on the coffee house circuit. And so we decided we needed to locate a place to go have a good old Pennsylvania beer, even though it was just the biggest blizzard you can imagine, and roads were closed, and we got in the car and we started driving through the mountains, and we couldn't find anything. And just as we were about to give up, we saw this little beer place, and we pulled in. There was one car in the parking lot. It was the bartenders, and the hockey game was on the TV, and we sat there and started watching the hockey game. They eat their snacks in the beer bars on the East Coast are crab cakes. They bring them out on a little aluminum foil plate and kind of a fried thing. So we ordered a couple of crab cakes and had a beer, just happy to be, out in the real world. And we finished eating, and he said, there, he's folding up his aluminum foil. And I said, what'd you do with the aluminum foil? I said, I ate it. He said, you didn't eat it. I said, oh, you're not supposed to eat it? He said, you didn't eat it. Lonnie, I ate it. He searched me. He was beside himself, I didn't eat it. So the bartender comes out, he only came out every now and then. And Lonnie told him what happened. The guy gave me a really strange look. He said, if you ate it, you better go to the clinic. So then these two people came in out of the blizzard, and Lonnie told them what happened, and they helped them search, and the three of them searched the bar. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there drinking my beer and watching the hockey game, and every now and then I lecture them about the nutritional values of aluminum. So we finished, they never found it. We went back. Lonnie didn't say a word about it. Went out. Next morning, went out to our gig, and about a week later, he's right in the middle of the solo, and he looks over at me and said, "What happened to the aluminum foil?" And I said, "I ate it." He said, "You didn't eat it." We got a big argument on stage on whether I ate aluminum foil. I was telling him it's tasty. I was telling him it tasty. I said I dipped it in the beer before I ate it. And, so I never told him. And every now and then, I'd have a friend that was going to see Lonnie, and I'd have him go up to Lonnie and say, "Fred ate the aluminum foil." Got to be a real thing. So the only thing I decided when I was driving up to see him,
You were going to tell him?
is I was going to tell him what happened to the aluminum foil. Maybe. But I'm not going to tell y'all what happened to it. It was tasty. I mean, I didn't realize we were supposed to eat the whole thing. You know, it's kind of crunchy, a little bit, roughage.